Hello everyone, welcome to my video. I'm Grandpa Hickory. When time seemed to stand still, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I remember back in the 1950s, things went along and it turned into 1960s. And we lived over on 622 West Pembroke in Dallas, Texas, right down the road from my school, which was John F. Peeler's school. And we had a pear tree out back, and we had a screened in back porch, and my dad had a refrigerator where he kept his Ham's beer. And he would holler at me, "Hey boy, bring me a Ham's beer out here." So I'd get him one, take it out there, and he'd pop the top. And I took my water jug out there. I had a big glass gallon water jug that I filled up with that delicious. Back then, Dallas water was delicious, crystal clear, and it was so good. Well, I sat down on the porch and my dad sent me out to get some pears. We had a fig tree right beside us on the little patio. We had a very small little patio concrete slab there, but we had a big fig tree that had some beautiful figs growing on it. And they smelled so good. My dad sent me out and I got a couple pears. We would sit there and we would talk. And I remember sitting there with my dad and we were talking, and I was listening to my dad talk about when he was younger on the farm there in Ione, Texas, Wichita Falls. They lived way, way out. My grandfather was the sheriff of Ione County, Wichita Falls, all of Wichita Falls back in the 1800s and the early 1900s all the way up. I think he died in, I think it was 1940. I think he died in 1948, might have been 49. But we were sitting there talking, and honestly, I want to tell you something, and I am telling you the truth. It's as though time stood still. I look back at those days. Do you remember those days, those times in your life? A certain time when you was with your beloved dad or your mother or your sister or your brother that is now deceased and gone on. And y'all was sitting there talking and having a good time. And it's as if time stood still. There was nothing else in the world. Just you and them. And that's the way it was with me and my dad. I love my dad so much. He was my best friend. He taught me everything I know about being in the woods, hunting, surviving. My dad was with General George S. Patton in World War II. My dad was blown out of 3 tanks. He was in the Kitty Cat Squadron, which is right behind George S. Patton's tank. And Patton had a siren on his Jeep, and he would turn it on when they went in battle. My dad was the top gunner of a 50 caliber machine gun. And my dad said that when he would turn that siren on, that the Germans were so scared that they would take off running, but other Germans would actually fire. Those machine guns the Germans had back then, they were different than our machine guns. They would go, drrr, drrr, drrr. That's the way they sounded. You ought to hear them sometime. They have the sounds. You can leave and listen on YouTube. And the U.S. Marines and the Army, their 50 caliber machine gun was da 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 da, etc. That's the best way I can describe it. My dad told me about some of the things that they went through in World War II, and my daddy hated Spam. And I hate Spam too myself. To this very day, I cannot eat Spam. Now, every now and then, I'll have that treat. It's called TREET. It's like Spam. Every now and then, I'll make sandwiches out of that. I buy them by the cans. I've stocked my pantry up with them, and in case something happened in America that we wouldn't be able to buy food at the grocery stores, so I try to keep a little, things put back just in case. But friends, I'll never forget. It's as though time stood still. And I remember my sweet daddy's voice and the times that we spent together on that porch. My daddy drank his little Ham's beer. And we would talk, and it seemed like time had stood still. The birds would fly. I remember it, and I miss it so much. My daddy died back in 1974. He never got to see the birth of our firstborn son, John. And my daddy died August the 16th of 1974, and my son was born December the 18th, 1974. So I lost my dear dad, my best friend. But friends, I remember a time when it seemed that time stood still. I'm inviting you to hit the like button. It helps my channel to grow. And I'm inviting you to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you on the next video. Memories. We have them, don't we? See you on the next video.